everyone, it's GFX Rose and I'm going to show you a step-by-step easy tutorial on how to make a Roblox GFX using a rig file. First, you'll need to open up Roblox Studio. If you get auto-recovered file was detected, just ignore it, guys. Don't stress. You also don't need to make a game. Just click on base plate and that'll be fine, because we're not really going to be using Roblox Studio a whole bunch. We just need it for a few things. Now I'm going to go to plugins and I'm going to get my easy character here, the Load Character Already Pro. Please watch the video on how to get that I have posted if you have not seen it. Now, the next most important tip for using a GFX Roblox using a rig file, you must use Spawn R6. If you choose Spawn R15, it will make your materials garbly. Materials being your clothing, okay? How it will look on your avatar. So hit the Spawn R6, all right? And here we go. I have my character. Now, I want to change her face. I'm not going to be spending lots of Robux at this time. Maybe I will someday, but not today, folks. So I need to enter in my super happy face and get the numbers on there, and that will immediately put in the happy face. Okay, perfect. Anything else that you want to add? Now's the time to do so. Then you need to go over, look at GFX Rose, obviously whatever your avatar name is, right click, export selection, and let's go ahead and put this on the desktop. GFX Rose and GFX Christmas I've already made. All right, I'm gonna just type in GFX Rose Red Christmas, and I want to tell you another tip, guys. If you're making a lot of GFXs, be sure you're putting these in separate folders, because it'll save that texture over the last texture and you'll get garbly stuff. So make a new folder every time you're making a new GFX, and frankly, clean up your PC. You don't want it cluttered with old GFXs. All right, so here we go. I have this uploaded now, exported, I should say, and I'll use it later. What I need to do is one last thing before I leave the studio is I need to go and get my model. I'm actually already picked this model before, so it's by a Therese someone, and I'm just going to use a simple red room model. Don't want to have a whole bunch of clutter. I'm going to hit export selection. Right, I've right clicked. I made sure, by the way, that my model was highlighted. I right clicked on the model, export selection, and now I'm going to head here and just call it the Red Room Christmas, okay? And save it. No problem. All right, now we can shut down Roblox Studio because we're done with it, guys. So let's head on over to Blender. Very exciting. Do we need to save this? No. Again, don't need to save all those things. Blender, let's go, guys. So I am using 2.90 at this time. So what we need to do is open that rig file. So I'm gonna go here and it's right at the top. Do I need to save this? No, I just was opening. I don't need to save a cube. And here we go, crazy ladies here, right? This is actually a Roblox rig for a woman. I will post all of the files below, and you can safely download them. There are some videos where you click on the link and it's going to take you to a website that has a lot of possibilities for viruses. So I'm really happy to be able to make a Google Drive for you guys so that you will be able to use that. I want to make sure my screencast is on, and that way you can see what I'm doing. And the next tip of the day here, guys, is for those Blender users that are so used to how Roblox works and they're having a hard time using shift and middle mouse to move around, right? You can use middle mouse and the little wheel, okay, and move that way. You can shift and also move as well, okay? But for those of you that love Roblox and are so used to it, you can also hit shift and the squiggle button, okay? That's right by the number 1 or right below escape button, however you want to see it. And then you can use the W, A, and S and D and all of that. Oh, we move slow as molasses. You want to move faster? Sure. Hit shift and do the same, okay? But let me tell you guys, I'm just so used to the way that I have learned it now in making my UGCs that I'm just going to stick to my usual plan and go back to the old way, okay? So just so you know, though, there are other ways. It's very important to remember there are many ways to do things in Blender. That's what makes it so great. Another thing you can do here is you can hit X to delete things and hit delete, yeah. But honestly, guys, I just like my fancy delete button. I can't be bothered with X's, so boom, you can do it that way as well. All right, there's a lot of ways to do the same thing. Now, we need to get rid of the eyes, we need to get rid of the head, we need to get rid of this crazy tongue. Isn't it funny to realize how big Roblox tongue is? Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Okay, I guess we have lots to say on Roblox, so we need a big tongue. We have removed all of that, you guys, and now we need to go to the next step, which is how we are going to add on the texture to this rig, okay? Because this isn't me yet. This is just a boring rig. There's a couple ways you can do this in Blender. You can actually go over here to, this is an outline icon. You can go down and you can pick what editor type you want, and you can click on the shade editor here, okay? And that will get you what you're after. Or it won't, because you know why? You gotta click here first to get that. Boom! There you go, guys. You gotta make sure you click on any of the limbs, doesn't matter which one, torso, arm, whatever. And now see all this crazy outline? I mean, it's like a bad English nightmare, y'all. Oh my gosh. Anybody diagram sentences lately? Oof. Okay, so you have this, or you can actually come up here and it makes a little cross and you can shimmy your whole screen over. I'm just gonna do it this way today because it is kind of a cool factor. I can zoom in and out as you're seeing I'm doing with the screencast. You can see what I am up to. But what is so important, y'all, is that you make sure you do not pick the top up here, but you need to find the top, okay? There are actually two texture boxes. You do not want to pick this top one. It's not going to do anything for you. It's the wrong one. You want to get on down to this second texture, the one right below the top. You also need to click on the file button here. Sometimes I click on other things like create new image. Just delete it. No worries, no stresses. Okay, now I've clicked here. I need to go to the desktop where I made that file, and I need to find it in GFX Christmas. What I'm looking for is not all of this stuff. I'm actually looking for myself, GFX Rose texture. I'm gonna hit boom, and it's gonna appear in my fancy outfit. Oh yeah. Okay, but I have no head, so this is a little bit embarrassing and shocking, to be completely honest with you. So let's move on back, guys, and find ourselves a head. What are we gonna do? Okay, this is where you need to import that file that you saved of your whole body. Wavefront OBJ is what you're looking for, so you import OBJ, and then you head on back to wherever you put it. Again, I put it on the desktop because it's quick to find. Okay, and I see I have GFX Rose Red Christmas. Oh my gosh, it's right there ready for me to take. But what I need to remember, the most important part of all, is hit geometry, okay? Because I'm actually gonna need to split this by group. If I don't pick on that, guys, if you forget, then what'll happen is you're gonna import your whole entire avatar and you're not gonna be able to take the head off. And you really wanna take the head off, okay? So now I need to turn this chickie around. So I've done that, and I hit a little bit over the mark, so I need to do 180-degree turnaround, and I have her right here. Okay, I want to move her as well, so let's click on that fancy dancy stuff. Notice where the move key is down here. We'll be changing that in a minute. You will want to have the origin to the object, so I'll explain in a second. Okay. So what I should be able to do now is get off of this chick and just click on the parts that I want. I want to get her hair, and I want to get my UGC that I made for Sunset Safari, and I want to get her cutesy face. Don't forget the face, guys, okay? So you can then just slide that on over like that, and boom, you got it. And then you want to line it up so that the eyes are on the eyes. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right, y'all? So then you move it over here, and her eyebrows are a little bit high, so that tells me her neck is a little bit high. So I move her down, and voila, there she is. A little bit, maybe not enough neck. There you go. This is where you play around with it. You want it where you want it. Now this I don't need anymore, so I can sit here and boom, 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 or just do this and be done with it and delete. Just make sure you don't have anything else that you have clicked on, or that's going to delete as well. Okay, now I did mention that I want my cutesy little arrow to correspond to the items. So I'm going to click on all three of these things, and then I'm going to right click, and it should show me set origin. I want to set origin to geometry. Okay, geometry, of course, meaning shapes. So I want the origin, the middle, the center, right there where it originates with the shapes. So now it's going to make all those dots and this move cursor go up there. Now, if you didn't find that set to geometry, you can always go to menu search and type in origin, and you should find it, or geometry to origin, origin to cursor, origin to geometry. That is the one that you would want. Don't need to do it again, but I will. Alrighty. So now we are all ready to go, but I've got no place to be. I mean, it's just this like vast void of nothingness. So yes, I know, dear, we've got to add in our beautiful room. All right, so let's import that OBJ, and it's right here, Red Room Christmas is how I saved it. And you also, it's gonna probably still be split by group, and that's lovely, no problems, okay? We take a little while, let it load. It's got this weird cursor that comes up, and you will probably need to scroll out to see if it's actually appeared. Voila! There it is. Now you can also right click here, set origin, and it is, where is it? Origin to geometry. There we go. All right, boom, we are ready. And I don't want it on my head. I want to move it down. Okay, here we go, guys. Everything's going so perfectly. It's amazing. Okay, so now you can see here it is. And I'm all ready to go. I just need to pose myself now, okay? So now I'm going to make sure that I am in the posing, okay, the pose zone. Oh, I got to click on her first. Of course I do. Pose mode. It's right there. Pose zone. Am I losing it? Okay. Pose mode, and then this is going to allow me to like start doing all kinds of funny little things. Okay, I will need to have the rotate button on, so see my cursor move to the rotate, and voila, I am doing I'm doing some major weird crunches. Okay, so oh my goodness, I don't like my neck being not attached to my head, so I'm gonna undo that. All right, yeah. Okay, so this is kind of the idea, guys. Now, this is honestly the best part of these GFX videos is watching them move. So I'm gonna speed it up, but I'm gonna try not to speed it up too fast so that you guys can see exactly what I do and watch me get into wonky, crazy poses that can be changed. You just play around with it and have fun. This is the best part of making a GFX. So let's go do this. Okay, now that you have her posed, and again, you can always go back to it, you want to get the settings right for the lighting, the camera, and all of that. And a way to really be helpful is come over here where we changed this to shade editor, and you can change it to the 3D viewpoint. Now you're actually looking at what we were looking at before. It's not very big and she's looking weird, so it may not be your choice. You could also come here to the cross, make that, and you can slide this over as well. Then you can see what is happening, and in fact, I'm just gonna put this back onto shade editor, and I'm gonna do it this way because I want you guys to see what's happening. I'm gonna have to move it over a little bit more. Let's see, now I just need to get that right there because I need to access the render mode. As you can see, she's super duper dark, so we need to add camera, lighting, and we need to change settings. Let's first go over here to the settings, okay? You want to make sure this is on cycles. You want to make sure that render is at 160, so I've entered that, okay? Then denoising, click on that, the NLM, okay? And make sure everything else here right. I think transparency, put it to 0, okay? That way everything will show. So then we need to get our setup correctly on the next one. Now remember, you can change this and play with it and be different. Like, you don't have to do what I'm doing, okay? A lot of people do 2000 by 2000 here. Honestly, it does give you a bigger picture so that you can go and clip that down, cut that down, work with that a little bit more, okay? You don't want it to be FFmpeg video, all right? This needs to be a PNG file. That is the best quality. And then get RGBA quality, okay? So we have that as well. Now we are moving, let's see, use nodes, yep. Use the nodes here. This is where we're going to start bringing in some fun, cool features. Okay, so you want to click on use nodes like I showed you, and you want to click on coloring, and that is going to change from this nothingness to environment texture, okay? And now you're going to go to this website that I will put in the link below that shows you, and I've showed it to you in another video, so I won't do that now. It's the HDRI, okay? So I'm going to go and take you to where I have that file and add that right now, and it will change the lighting tremendously. Okay guys, I went and found it. Snowy Forest Path. That's what we're gonna do for the spirit of Christmas. And see how much it's changed already. Okay, but here's where you can play around with things. You can see what you want to add. The ambient occlusion adds a whole other look. It kind of gives it back to that Roblox feel. So that is something that people add or not add. You decide what you want to do. You can even change the coloring in the space by changing the lighting and the coloring. So let's get onto that. But I'm going to add the camera next, all right? So camera's already in there. It should be. Okay, it's not. That's because we start with the default. I forgot. So what we need to do is add a camera. Let me move this out of the way and find my add button. Because there's too many things everywhere. You're in pose mode here still, so you're not going to be able to find where to add the camera. You'll need to go to object mode, and that will then allow you to add a camera, and it's down here below. You click on this little camera button and it'll find it for you. As you can see, we can't actually, like, there's no view of the camera here. It's just showing underneath. So we need to go ahead and toggle on out of that and pull that camera up, and now you can see it, right? There's the camera. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm working, there's a couple ways you can work on a camera. I'm going to set it over here to camera view, okay, while I'm then working over here to see my angles, what's the best view. I want her smiling, so cutesy, and looking at the camera just right. How far back do I want to go, and all of those things. So I'm going to play around with this and probably speed up the video because I'm just messing around with the sizing, which by the way depends on where you're putting this. You know, we talked about over here just putting this, let me get to the right one, 2000 to 2000. If you're doing Instagram, you want it at 1200 to 1200. If you're doing YouTube, it is of course 1920 by 1080, but I just do 2000 to 2000, and then I do cropping for my YouTube and clip art and all of those sorts of things, thumbnails and such. Okay, so let me move this around and I'll get back with you. So I played around with my camera. I've got it set over here, as you can see. I'm wanting myself to be the center of the picture, but you know what? That window is like gray back here, okay? So when I go ahead and render, it will be gray. But here is another trick from your GFX Rose, and I hope if you're liking these tricks, please be sure to hit the like button and tell me in the comments below. Make sure you have your notifications to all, and I'll keep doing all of these fun little tricks for you. But what you want to do, guys, is you want to click on your actual model. This is why we did all of this set origin to direct, to set your origin to geometry so that you can move things. So we're going to click on the window, and voila! Now we actually have a Christmas view in the background, right? And of course, if I were to zone out, you can even see more of it. You can do all kinds of amazing things. Well, I could be over by the snowman instead. I could do all kinds of looks with just this one room, all right? And so that's what makes GFX so much fun. So let's go ahead and render it where it is now, and let's see how this turned out. You click the render button, render image, and here we go. And there you have it, guys. It's a perfectly rendered GFX using the rig. So if you have enjoyed this video, please be sure that you hit the like button. You'll want to save this image. You just click Save As and put in what you want. I've already done it, so I won't need to do it again. And then you have a GFX that you can use for your liking. So please be sure to hit the like button and the notification bell to all if you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what other tips and tricks you would like to know about, and I will be adding more videos just very quickly. So thank you so much all for watching, and you have a really great day. Bye-bye!